Dave was talking to me about one of the stories that he'd remembered my telling, and it was a pleasure to think about that story, so I think I'll share it with you again. It's a story about 3 pigs. These 3 pigs, they wanted to live in peace and harmony with their environment. And so, because they wanted to keep their footprint, their ecological and environmental footprint, as small as possible, they decided to make houses out of materials that were indigenous to the area. And so it was that the first little pig, he made his house out of straw, and the second little pig made his house out of sticks. Come on, stick with me here, guys. And the third little pig, who wanted to be historically accurate as well as ecologically correct, he made his house out of bricks. Yes, right. Adobe bricks that he made out of dung and clay and creeper vine that he put in a little wooden mold that he'd made himself, and he fired in a backyard kiln after first checking with the EPA regulations and the air quality control standards. When they were done with their houses, the 3 pigs stood back and looked in admiration and satisfaction at what they had been able to accomplish. However, their happiness was short-lived, for soon along came a big bad wolf with expansionist ideas. When the wolf saw the pigs, he became very hungry in both a physical and an ideological sense. And when the pigs saw the wolf, they became really scared in both a physical and an ideological sense. And so those 3 pigs, they ran to the house of the first little pig, the house made out of straw, followed by the wolf. And the wolf pounded on the door and called out in the traditional wolf fashion, I guess this could be a participation event for you. You can join with me. He called out, little pigs, let me come in. It's probably been a while since you've said those words, huh? And the pigs, of course, responded in their traditional fashion, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. And then, just to make sure that the wolf had gotten the idea, they added, your gunboat tactics hold no fear for pigs defending their homeland and culture. Well, the wolf thought to himself, that was cute, so naive, so childlike, so precious. Truly, it will be a pity to completely obliterate their entire culture, but progress cannot be stopped. And so he took a deep breath, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. And the pigs ran to the house of the second little pig, the house made out of sticks. Right. Now, what happened to the land that the straw house was on? Well, it was purchased by a giant wolf conglomerate, and it was turned into a banana plantation. Meanwhile, back at the stick house, the wolf arrived, pounded on the door, and said, little pigs, let me come in. To which the pigs replied, not by the hair of our chinny chin chin. And then they added, just for good measure, go away, you carnivorous imperialistic oppressor. Well, the wolf was not to be denied what he thought of as his manifest destiny, and so he took a deep breath, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew down the house made out of sticks, sending the 3 little pigs to the house of the third little pig, the house made out of bricks. And so what happened to the land that the stick house was on? Well, I know you're concerned. It was purchased by another giant wolf conglomerate, and it was turned into a deluxe resort timeshare condominium complex, complete with an 18-hole golf course and hula lessons, dolphin shows, and in front was a little fiberglass replica of the original stick house. Now it was a souvenir shop. Well, meanwhile, the wolf had arrived at the house of the third little pig, where he pounded on the door and called out, little pigs, let me come in. They responded, not by the hair of our chinny chin chin. And this time, they thought that they would add a little non-violent and some non-verbal kinds of action. They linked arms and they sang songs of protest. Oink, 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 oink. And they wrote letters to the United Nations. Yeah, good luck with that. Well, the wolf was becoming increasingly annoyed at the pig's inability to see things from a carnivore's point of view. And so he took a deep breath, and he huffed, and he puffed, 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 and he fell over dead of a massive heart attack brought on by eating too many fatty foods. Well, when the wolf was dead, the pigs came out of that brick house, and they did a little dance of victory around the carcass of their cruel wolf oppressor. And then they joined with other pigs who had been thrown off their lands. And together, this small but intrepid band of porcanistas attacked the Resort Deluxe Timeshare condominium complex with rocket launchers and flamethrowers, completely ignoring the irony in that. And soon, the entire band of wolves lay dead, sending a clear message to that part of the hemisphere not to meddle in their internal affairs. And then what did the pigs do? Well, they simply took back the land and a little more for good measure, and they established a model socialist democracy, complete with free education, universal health care, affordable housing, still waiting for that one, and liberty and justice for all. Now, I should tell you that no actual animals were harmed in the telling of this story, and the big bad wolf himself was simply a metaphorical construct, the three pigs. Thank you.